Hi, sixth graders. So, in preparation for our first day of trading tomorrow, we are going to do a virtual digital escape room today. And as you see, I'm not there, and whoever is in front of you can just help you navigate this escape room. But first, I want you to watch this video, and I want to go over some of the rules and expectations of the stock market game. Just to remind you, you're going to get $100,000 of virtual cash, and you'll be investing that money into companies and stocks, and you will be able to keep track of these assets. Okay, assets being you can have your money in cash, which means you're not investing it. Stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. Now, we're not investing in other assets like homes, cars, land, boats, gold, etc., because we're doing the stock market. Now, the rules. We can only get things through the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. And we've talked about that before, but when you look up stocks, make sure you're using one of those systems. You need to purchase things in a minimum of 10 shares at a time, but you can sell less than 10 at once. If you want to do bonds, they must be sold in $100 increments. That means you could do 100 or 200 or 1,000, and no more than 20% of your $100,000 can be invested in one company. So that would mean you have a limit of about $20,000 to spend on companies if you want to do Apple or Tesla or something big like that. We've talked about different kinds of investing. But essentially, I want you to focus in on stocks, which is owning a portion of a company. Now, the stock market game focuses on companies with $25 million minimum market values. So these are the larger, stable, and liquid stocks, meaning you can change them, sell them, buy them. Potentially volatile stocks. So these are kind of weaker stocks. They're not traded, and this includes stocks. I think it's actually $3 or less per share. Okay, so we're staying away from those. And if we get into bonds, they have to have certain BBB ratings. For now, let's not worry about bonds. So there will be a transaction fee. I actually think it's a $5 fee, but it may also show up as a 1% broker's fee for all transactions. So if you buy 100 shares of a stock at $10 per share, you must pay the 1% of 1,000 or $10. So this, we can check into that, whether it's 1% or $5. The games run Monday through Friday. There are no weekend transactions. And trades entered after the close of the market will be priced at the next day's opening price. So we'll learn about if they're priced immediately, like it's a trade that happens right at that time, or after the market closes. Okay, so we're playing fair. You're responsible for all your transactions. If I find that you break the stock market game rules, it might result in the cancellation of a transaction. I'm not exactly sure when that would happen, but I guess it does happen. If we catch you breaking the rules multiple times, this would lead to disqualification. And maybe that's if you get into someone else's system and you try to make trades for the team. That is a big no-no, and that's why we have protected passwords that we will keep protected. So that goes into this next one. Do not make any transactions for teams other than your own. And also, if you know that a stock is not going to do well, don't just tell your other teammates or your other teams to invest in it when you know it's not a good one. That's just being kind and considerate. You must keep your secrecy of your SMG password within your team. We've talked about decision making through consensus building, but basically I want you listening to each other, contributing your ideas, including everyone on your team, evaluating what the teams are saying. You can agree, you can disagree with them. It's just how you work through it. if you agree on something, obviously don't spend time talking about it. And sometimes you have to compromise, right? So you have to maybe invest in a company that wouldn't be your first choice because your group wants to. All right, now the game. Your portfolio officially is live once your team makes the first transaction. So you don't need to invest all $100,000. However, I'd say if you just invest in one thing and that's all you're going to do for the 3 months, that's kind of no fun. So we have this $100,000 to play with, and it is a game. And so try companies, invest in companies, and just know that whatever you don't invest in, it will stay as cash. It will earn interest as cash, but not as much as the possibility of growth is not as much. Now, also, if you invest it, there is the potential of you losing money if the company doesn't do well. There are rankings. There's local rankings and regional rankings. So the local is just our Glen Lake School, and we can see that on our account page. We can also see regional rankings. That would be Minnesota sixth graders, and you can see those once your portfolio is live, once you've started your transactions. All right, I will be giving you a password and a username to get into your team. You may not change those, and do not share what they are with other teams. We will be making our first transaction tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what you want. But today, can you escape from the New York Stock Exchange is the challenge, and you will need to use some of this information I just presented in the Escape Challenge. Have a great day.